Welcome to Radio Bible Light. My name is Andrew Butler, and I am here this evening with Pastor Ivor Maier. Welcome, Pastor Ivor.
Thank you. Good to be here.
All the way from, where do you come from again?
California.
California, all the way from California to Alberta. Welcome to freezing Alberta.
Thank you. No thank you.
I agree. We have a few questions for you. My first question for you is, what made you change from the music industry over to preaching?
So it's interesting because really I always had a fear of public speaking, especially growing up. My accent, I was from Jamaica, my accent was very heavy, so when I moved to the United States of America, you know, kids would like make fun of my accent, so developed this fear of public speaking. But when I was introduced to the Bible in around 1995, and I was about 20 years old or so, the truths that I had learned from the Bible were so overwhelming, it overwhelmed my fear of public speaking.
All right.
And the things I learned from the book of Daniel, from the book of Revelation, just impacted me so much that I felt the burden, the call to go and preach the gospel. And in fact, you know, my life before I became a Christian was, I felt it was not good enough for me to be a pastor. And I remember going to speak to one pastor, and he said to me, I was giving him all the reasons why I probably could never pastor, even though I wanted to preach. And he just said to me, "What doest thou here, Elijah?" From the story of the Bible where Elijah is hiding in the cave and God comes to him, "What doest thou here, Elijah?" And those words alone were enough for him to get the message across to me. I need to be preaching. And that's kind of what led me from the music industry, in which I was introduced to the book of Daniel and Revelation, ultimately led me out of the industry and into the ministry.
All right. Now, we just came from a 2-hour presentation. I just came from a 2-hour presentation that Pastor Ivor did. It was a beautiful presentation. I've seen different versions of it online years ago. But if you were to speak a message to the people, the listeners and the watchers of Radio Bible Light, what is a message that you would let them know?
Well, you know, I believe that Jesus is coming soon. I believe that he has a message that he has sent to prepare us for that coming. And I would just really encourage people to get into the Word of God, there's so many crazy things happening now in our society. People are looking for answers everywhere. And the one place that has the answers, why this is going on, why are people doing these things, the one place it's found, it's in the Bible. It's the one sure picture of what is coming upon this earth. And so I would just encourage people, you know, from all backdrops, get into the Word of God. Read what the Bible has to say, and it will help you to have peace in the midst of the storms that are going on around us. And it'll help us to know what is coming so that we can be prepared for it.
Now, I know one of the tactics of the devil is to bust apart a family. To bust apart a family just to make everything chaos. And that's why we do need the Bible so badly.
Yeah.
If you had any advice for parents and also their children, what would that be?
My advice to parents and children would be to draw close to Christ and to put the blood on the doorposts of your home. Because Satan is, you know, into destroying families. He is trying to cause dissension in the family unit. And Christ says that if he's lifted up, he will draw all men unto him. Lift up Christ in the home. Let your children see Christ lifted up in the home, and pray. Because it is, as time goes on, it's getting harder and harder you know, to raise a family in this environment. You know, children are just, you know, fearful to even go to school and, you know, being out in the public, what might happen. So many things happening that people are like, you know, is God even there?
Yes.
So, you know, being a consistent example and being able to reflect the character of Christ is one of the greatest examples that I believe we can give for our young people.
Thank you so much, Pastor Ivor. I believe you actually had just a little bit to say on behalf of Radio Bible Light yourself, yes?
Yes, and what I have to say is, Yeah, I totally forgot what he asked me to say.
This is the pre-recorded, no problem.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah. No, this is not live. Don't worry. Just say, I want to encourage people to listen
Yeah.
and watch
Yeah.
RadioBibleLive.com every Friday.
Okay.
And also, Spanish section, Radio Luz de la Biblia.
Well, you can mention
No?
Yeah.
in English and
Yeah.
also Radio Bible Live in Spanish.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And it's Friday night.
Friday
Friday.
Every Friday night, yeah.
So Friday night, 6 p.m. and 7 p.m.
Okay.
Yes.
The Spanish is 6
Yes.
and the English
It's 8.
is 8.
Yes.
Okay. So we just take it from there?
1 second. Do you want? Can you say Radio Svetlina?
Yes.
Right.
Radio Svetlina?
Radio Svetlina.
Radio
Svetlina.
Svetlina.
Exactly. This is another language what we have, Bulgarian. Radio Svetlina. Just say Radio Svetlina. I encourage to listen Radio Svetlina, Radio Bible Light, and
In
Radio
Spanish and English.
So SVET Svetlina.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Svetlina. Okay, 1 second.
So is it going straight into him talking, or should I say something?
Yeah, you can tell him what you say for our listeners, and you can say, I encourage everyone to listen Radio Svetlina, Radio Bible Light, Radio
In English and
and Spanish,
Yeah.
and Russian. Sorry, and Russian. Core language. Bulgarian, Spanish,
My mind is
English.
tired.
For now, you know in Bulgarian. Next time you will do it in Spanish.
And for some reason, in the next scene, it's just gonna this pad's gonna flip from my hand to your hand. Let's keep my hands down here.
All right.
Bulgarian, Russian, Spanish, English. It doesn't matter what kind of how you will say.
Bulgarian,
Russian.
Russian, English, and Spanish. Radio Bible Light.
That's it.
It's RadioBibleLight.com?
Yes.
Okay. Ready.
Okay, 1 second. 3, 2, 1.
Pastor Myers, I believe you have a message to tell our listeners out there.
Yep. I would just like to encourage all of you to listen to RadioBibleLight.com in Russian, English, Spanish, and Bulgarian,
Amen.
and you will be blessed. Was that You said amen.
That was
threw
great.
me
There
off.
we go.